three German luxury brands, Audi has typically offered an intriguing blend of luxury, performance, sport, and technology. And with the introduction of the all-new 2017 A4, it looks like the company is continuing that trend of offering that nice blend between buyers. Now, if you guys remember the previous generation A4, that was known internally as the B8 platform. It was the fourth generation. This new one is the fifth generation of Audi's ever-popular compact sports sedan. Now, if you guys know the previous generation, it was a pretty big success for Audi. Even though the old one was getting a bit old on the market, it still was a pretty strong offering. So when Audi was faced with the task of redesigning it, they looked at offering very similar levels of technology, of performance, and not straying too far away from the Audi strengths that you know and love about this brand. Now you can see the design of the new A4 certainly doesn't look very different from the old one. In fact, if those of you who aren't familiar with the Audi brand will probably look at this one and just say it looks like the old A4, and that's typically what you find in a lot of the German luxury brands. Their redesigns tend to stay more on the conservative side, and they always will have that family resemblance just to go in line with the theme of the overall brand. Now you can see the front end of the new A4 sports the familiar Audi design languages here. The trapezoidal grille is even more predominant now. The headlights have a more angular finish, and if you guys look around the rest of the body, it looks as if Audi has replaced some of the curves of the old ones with a more boxy, more angular look, just to go with the current design language that Audi has introduced with the redesigned A3 that they did a couple of years ago. Now, all models will come standard with Audi's Xenon Plus headlights. That's a nice standard feature, but a lot of the German competitors come with halogens and make you pay extra for the upgraded model. Now, my particular tester is the upmarket Prestige trim. This is the top-of-the-line model. It comes with full LED headlights as standard equipment. Again, that's a feature that a lot of the competitors make you pay like $1,000 extra for a lighting package. Audi throws in a nice value equation here into the German brand. Now, coming around the side, these 18-inch 5-spoke wheels certainly fill out the wheel wells nicely. You'll get these wheels on the Premium Plus models and up. There is a 19-inch wheel option available if you guys want a little bit bigger rims. Now, coming around the back, you have familiar Audi design languages again. LED taillights do come standard, and this year Audi has added a sequential LED turn signal for the actual taillight. It's kind of similar to what Ford does with the Mustang. When you turn on the signal, the LED blinks in sequence going in the direction of either left or right. It's a pretty nice, cool detail. Certainly makes the car look a little bit more premium. Dual exit exhaust with chrome tips are standard on all the models, and you can take your pick of choice between front-wheel drive or the Quattro all-wheel drive system like my tester. Now, if you guys are looking at the overall size, the new A4's height stays roughly the same as last year's, but everything else is bigger. The wheelbase and the width is about a ½ inch larger, and the overall length is about an inch longer to give the passengers a little bit more cabin space inside and make the trunk a little bit larger. Now, under the hood, you're still going to find the familiar Audi 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, updated with more power this year, but enough about the exterior. Let's take a look at the inside and see all of the changes that Audi has made for their all-new sedan. Now, first approaching the all-new A4, you can see the door handle here on the driver's side has a touch-sensitive area. To lock the doors, all you have to do is keep this all-new Audi key fob in your pocket or your purse. I really like the new key fob design. It's a very nice-looking key. To lock the door, just tap it right here with your finger, and it beeps to let you know that it locks the door. To unlock it, just come here and touch the back, and that unlocks the door for you. Now, the door handle does open in a new upward fashion. I'm not sure how I feel about that. It doesn't feel very intuitive to me. That's just a minor gripe of mine. But looking at the interior of the all-new A4, it certainly has that familiar Audi feel. Now, my tester is, as I said, is the top-of-the-line Prestige. It has what they call a warm weather climate package that gives you the upgraded sports seats with a little bit of suede in the lower bolsters. The seats themselves have a nice little thigh extension there. They have thicker bolstering to hold you in place. And the overall cabin certainly looks and feels expensive and classy. This is definitely going with the traditional theme that you guys know and love Audis for. Now, stepping inside the vehicle, you can see getting in, it has that traditional low sports sedan feel that you typically love when you go for the vehicle in this class. Now, shutting the door, the thunk is very solid. Again, that's something you expect when you guys go for a vehicle of this caliber. Now, push-button start is actually standard on all the trims. A lot of its competitors make you pay extra for it. If you guys go for a convenience package on the base premium, it gives you the keyless access, the smart access key with the intelligent entry like I showed you. But my tester is the Prestige. It has it. All you have to do is put your foot on the brake and then push the button down here to start up the engine. Now, being that mine is also a Prestige, it also shows off Audi's very impressive virtual cockpit display. Now, what you're looking at in front of you is the instrument panel. This is a 12.3-inch LCD instrumentation display. It replaces the traditional analog gauges. This is available on the Premium Plus and Up models. You have to go for a tech package on the Premium Plus, standard on the Prestige, of course, when you guys go for the top trim. Now, looking at the rest of the cabin here, you can see it has a lot of the familiar Audi design languages that you know about this brand. You can see here a lot of the materials in here are top-notch. You have very nice aluminum trim. You have very expensive, high-quality graining on the upper dashboard. On the door panels, you have the same nice soft-touch graining with some more aluminum trim. You guys can go for a wood grain if you don't prefer the aluminum, if you guys prefer that. Now, looking at the door panels here, it is soft-touch with more leather on the door pad. I wish the armrest here had a little bit more stitching. It is soft, but it could be wrapped in leather. Just a little minor gripe of mine. The window is automatic up-down for all four. You kind of expect that when you go for a vehicle in this class. Now, typically, the center stack here, the screen, is the star of the interior, but Audi moves it over to the driver's side here with their 12.3-inch virtual cockpit display. Now, I know it doesn't really look like much right now, but check this out, guys. If you guys use this little button here on the steering wheel, I have it in the kind of the trip computer information. When you scroll over to the navigation function, of course, that's Audi Google Maps. There's a little view button here that you can press, and holy crap, that is freaking cool. I mean, this, honestly, is the technological advancement for this generation A4. I mean, this virtual cockpit display is amazing. Combine that with the head-up display that you get on the Prestige model, and honestly, I left it in this mode all the time with the Google Map navigation. I mean, when you're driving around, which I'll show you guys in the test drive, and seeing that thing change, it is just amazing. It is really, really cool. And even when you guys go for, you know, just the regular display here, you can see you can change the size of the speedometer and the tachometer. Scrolling through the different menus here, this vehicle does have the traffic sign recognition. It has the full driver assistance tech package, your trip computer information here. I mean, honestly, this screen is really where the other German manufacturers need to kind of go with, because this is just very, very impressive. And when you combine that with the 8.3-inch LCD display here, you can actually show you'll have two different navigation screens if you want to. Most of the times I left it on the nav function there, and then I switched it over to the audio function on this screen, just because I wanted to see my audio information on this screen. Now, if you guys are wondering if that screen itself actually moves, it does not. It is fixed this year. And that's not what you got with the 2015 Audi A3, for example. Audi is starting to go with that theme here of having the LCD kind of sitting on the top of the dash where it looks like an iPad. And if you guys are wondering, the screen looks a little bit small. It's an 8.3-inch screen, which is competitive. However, when you compare it to this screen just looks kind of small. A little minor gripe of mine. And then when you look at the rest of the interior ambience, of course, it is nice. A little bit on the cold and austere side for me. Vehicles like the new C-Class, which I showed you guys last year, really still wowed me with their warm feeling interior. This new A4 kind of goes for a more colder feel. It really comes down to taste. Neither interior is bad. Just know that some of you may prefer the warmer environments of some competitors. Now, as I said before, the sport seats are very, very supportive. They have this extension for the thigh, very good bolstering. Looking at the center stack here, you can see your audio control, your climate controls are here. You do have like a 3-zone climate control. These buttons here are also touch sensitive if you guys want to use that, but I like that Audi still gives you knobs. You have your heated and cooled seats, part of the Prestige package. And then looking at the controller down here, this is the familiar Audi MMI controller interface. This is new for 2017 for the A4, the old model, soldier on with the old system. When you go to the menu function here, you can see you have your traditional Audi sources here: navigation, phone, media, sound, vehicle settings. I mean, this is from the Audi Drive Select. This vehicle does have Audi Connect with a 4G LTE wireless hotspot, which is nice. They first introduced that on the A3. I mean, all the technology that you expect from Audi is definitely in this vehicle. Now, one thing I don't really like is this new shifter controller. It's a little counterintuitive for me. I don't like the location of the park button. I kind of wish that it was over here, but this is the button you have to push to actually shift it. But basically, it always returns to this home position here. Until put into drive, you push the button here and then kick all the way back. That puts it into drive. Push it forward just once, and that pushes it into neutral. Push it forward all the way, and it goes into reverse. So when you do go into reverse, you have Audi's full 360-degree camera with their surround view system. It does have trajectory for the rear and for the front, so that's very nice to have. You also have front and rear parking sensors. So honestly, if you guys hit something while you're driving, you're a terrible driver. This vehicle also has their rear cross traffic alert with exit assist and side blind zone assist. Something that's new this year is when you park the vehicle on the side of the road and you're trying to open the door to get out, the sensors here will detect if there's an oncoming car, and it'll flash this side blind zone alert and beep to let you know, don't open the door, there's a car coming, unless you want to have your door ripped off and cause an accident. Looking at the rest of this center stack here, the MMI system, as I said before, it does have Audi's handwriting function. So if you guys want to input address, you can just kind of write what you want to the pad. It works really well. I also like the fact that Audi has finally switched the rotation of the wheel. If I want to scroll down, I now have to turn the knob to the right, which is clockwise. That scrolls down. Turn it to go up, you scroll it left. That is the correct way for me. And it took Audi a long time to finally adjust that. I complained about that in the past from previous Audis. I'm liking the fact that Audi has addressed that for this redesigned model. One thing you're also going to notice, the armrest here is adjustable. Typical Audi fashion. You can kind of make it go up and down if you want to. And there's finally USB ports in here. For the longest time, Audi made you use a proprietary cable, and it took them forever to go to the USB jack. Now you just need to input the USB, and it works just like every other car. So bravo, Audi, for finally joining the times. Just something that I was complaining about in the older generation models. Now, looking above you, a sunroof does come standard on all models. That's a nice feature to have. Unfortunately, it is just a standard size sunroof. There is no panoramic roof option like the Mercedes-Benz C-Class, for example, or some other competitors, but it's nice that Audi gives you that feature as standard equipment. Looking at the glove compartment here, it's a decent size. It's lined with felt. It's damped. There is something new that's this year, is a little storage compartment right behind the steering wheel, or underneath the steering wheel. This little compartment here is actually designed to hold your owner's manual. So nice little storage, clever storage options here. I like the new steering wheel. It has a nice thick bolstering. The leather feels nice. I kind of wish it was a flat bottom design. I believe there was like an introductory model when the A4 came out that had a flat bottom. I expect Audi to introduce that for the S4 if you guys want to actually wait for that one. Now overall, this cabin of this new model certainly impresses me. It just doesn't have that warm, like uber luxury feel that you get in the new Mercedes-Benz C-Class, but I definitely prefer this interior over the current BMW 3 Series. Now, checking out the rear seat of the 2017 A4, you can see Audi did increase the legroom and passenger capacity with the larger size this year. There is pretty generous room back here, and the door opening is pretty large, so getting inside the back seat is pretty easy. It's a very nice place to spend time. I have very good foot space underneath the front seats, and then when you shut the door, it has that same solid thunk. The materials here are still soft touch plastic with some more leather on the door panels here. My warm weather package tester has these retractable manual sunshades. Very nice feature to have, especially if you guys live in areas that are warmer climates. You do have dual map pockets in the front seats, and then you'll have your own separate set of vents back here with heated rear seats, and then a separate 3-zone climate control for passengers in the back seat. So really, this is a really nice place to spend time. There is a pretty big hump here, so the middle passenger won't be quite as comfortable, but when you fold down this armrest here, you can see you have very nice storage available, and it's a very nice place to spend time. Now, the seats are 60-40 split, which add to that level of practicality, and the Prestige model kind of gives you all LED lighting throughout the cabin, so at night, this vehicle has a really classy, high-quality feel to it. Now, looking at the trunk capacity of the new A4, you can see the trunk actually was enlarged this year, about 0.6 cubic feet larger. It's now measuring about 13 cubic feet of space. You can see it goes in pretty deep. The seats do fold down 60-40. When you look underneath the floorboard here, Audi does give you a temporary spare. Nice to have. A lot of the competitors give you run-flat tires or a fix-a-flat kit. Overall, I think the trunk is very nicely finished, and it's a very generous size.